Hello everybody and welcome to Wolverine Spotlight. I'm Donnie Steinberger. Today we turn our spotlight on captain of the water polo team, Christy Lilly. Christy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Christy, this is a big year for you guys. Your inaugural campaign. You guys have made the transition from the club sport to a varsity sport. Let's talk about a little bit about that process of moving to a varsity sport.
Okay. Well, we've been a club sport for 11 years. This is our first year as a varsity sport. We're trying to work through the athletic department using Title IX to our advantage, basically saying how water polo fit into Title IX to try and make it a varsity sport. Other teams did the same thing. Hockey, Crew did it a couple years ago, and we were just lucky enough to be the ones they picked.
Was that a tough fight for you guys, trying to get into varsity?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, when they were announced it, I remember it was us and hockey and lacrosse. We're all campaigning for varsity status, and I remember the day it happened. I was happy, but I felt bad for the other teams that worked just as hard.
What were some of the things that you think they saw in your team that was able to elevate you guys to varsity?
Well, one thing I think that definitely sticks out, and it still does to this day, is that we are such a good team. We have such good players. We had players that could definitely play at varsity status, but chose to come to Michigan because it's a good school and play here. So I think that definitely is something that they looked at. And also just because soccer went varsity at the same time, and soccer and water polo have very similar aspects. We both have the same number of players, things like that. So
let's talk about a little bit about your success as a club team. Last year, the only club team at the Nationals. So that, I'm sure, helped your efforts in becoming a varsity team. And also before that, you guys, 11 straight years, not including last year, you guys made it to the conference tournament and won it.
Yeah, we won the big
That's pretty impressive also. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that played a role in becoming a varsity sport.
That was our hope. We had always hoped that if we played well, that it would pay off. Our coach, Scott Russell, would always say, you know, this is something you guys can get if you try, and we would always try for those reasons. We'd pay to play. We'd work every day sort of for that varsity status.
So how is it different now? How is it different being a varsity sport?
It's a completely different world. People treat you differently. I don't even know why people treat you differently, but they do, and you
what do they do?
People on campus treat you differently, wearing the varsity stuff. It's just a totally different world, and it's funny, at least for me, coming from a club sport, because it's just stuff, you know.
Right.
But it's fun too, because you don't have to work outside of water polo. You can just focus on water polo. You don't have to work to pay for it. All those types of things.
Have you guys experienced a lot of enthusiasm about your team, a lot of questions, maybe some negativity, or what's been the reaction around campus?
I think most people have been pretty supportive of it. A lot of people don't know what it is, and it's sort of a joke. I think people, water polo, where are the horses, you know? And there's no horses,
right.
But everyone knows. But it's a cool sport, you know, and if you ever see it, you won't knock it, I think.
Right. So tell us a little bit about this team. What are people going to see when they come and watch you guys?
Well, there's 24 of us, which is a lot, I think, more than we've had in the past years. And I think there's 12 or 13 freshmen, so we're a really young team, but we're a really strong team at the same time. We have a lot of big girls, a lot of girls that have played a lot before. So I think if they come out, they'll be interested. There's a lot of girls in bathing suits duking it out, so it's a cool sport to come watch. So
all the guys, you expect a lot of guys out there?
Yeah, definitely. Guys cheering us on, you know?
Right. Why not see the team? So as far as you guys and the success you've had, and that's really contributed to the efforts that you've made in becoming a varsity sport. But you've also, becoming a varsity sport is a little bit more involved. It's a lot of, you talked about some of the clothing you guys get and some of the other things, but it's really more than that. You get a full coaching staff, a full athletic trainers. How has that contributed to some of the things that you expect to do this year?
I think the trainers and the coaches are really good. Our coaches in the past years have worked really hard, but they weren't paid and they had other jobs. So we have a full-time staff, we have recruiters, we have trainers to be there for us if we're hurt. Just a lot more things that are nice to have and really do help teams succeed, I think. And the weight room staff are really great, and just basically all those extras that make a team work extra hard and end up doing well at the end of the season.
And as far as the training staff, water polo can be considered, I guess, a violent sport in some respects. You know, it's not to the level of football maybe, but you know, it gets pretty physical, and I'm sure you guys get nicked up a little bit, and so the training staff tries to help you work through that. And as a club team, that wasn't the case. You didn't have a training staff.
Yeah, we didn't have a training staff. Basically, if you were sore, you went home and iced yourself,
right.
Anything like that, a bag of peas, whatever it happened to be, and now we have girls getting ice on a daily basis, you know, so they can work those arms extra hard that day. It's nice.
So tell us about this coaching staff. Some really great coaches. Some Amber Drury Pinto. She was in the even before the Olympic. It was an
She was on the national team.
On the national team, even before there was an Olympic team. So she's a fantastic coach. And then and then Bernice Orway, your assistant coach. She won the silver in Sydney this year. So a great coaching staff this year. Right?
Yeah, we really were lucky that we got some experienced players, and to have women coaches was a big deal, I know, to the university. So it's sort of, it puts back to water polo. You know, these women have played, and now they're coaching us. It's sort of like a cyclical process. So it's nice. And
what have these coaches done to make you a better player in this early year so far?
Well, so far we just started our season. We had our first sort of break-in tournament this weekend, but they really have brought the team together nicely. We have so many freshmen, like I said. So I didn't really know what to expect, and no one really did. And they really did a good job accepting the club players while trying to bring them and the new recruits, the freshmen, together and play as a team. We really have done that. It's not at all recruits or freshmen versus everyone else. It's really a team process. And they've done a lot of team goals, team unity type things. And that's something that we need as the first-year sport, I really think. And I think other teams, even after that, can use that type of team unity.
And how about some of the skills that your coaches are stressing? Anything to make you a better water polo player?
For me specifically, I know that they've been helping me with types of ball skills, ball handling things, and the people that need other things, I help them. If you need to swim faster, they work with you on the swim sets, things like that. They definitely address everyone's individual needs.
And how about looking at them as people who are experienced players? That must help a tremendous amount. You know, learning from these people who've had the experience and have been in the big game situations. Does that also help you, and especially also some of the younger players? I mean, you are a senior, but it's got to help some of the younger players too.
Definitely. I think, for instance, Bernie, our assistant coach who played in Sydney this year, she's a goalie. So our goalie is playing with the goalie was just at the Olympics. So it motivates you and it makes you work harder and you listen to her even more. So I think it's a great experience for anyone who has just come in to play with someone who's been on an Olympic team 6 months earlier.
Yeah, and she's been quoted as saying around campus that she's very excited as being, being able to coach you guys and bring some of her experience. Any specific reason that she told you that why she came to Michigan specifically?
I don't think so. I would assume that. I've never actually spoken with Bernie about why she came to Michigan. I would assume because Amber is a great coach and she wanted to work with her, and Michigan's a wonderful school, and I can say now in 2 years this team is going to be one of the top 4 teams in the nation. So I'm sure that's why she came.
So you made a bold prediction here already.
Yeah, I did. I will make it. We're up and coming. Michigan's a wonderful school. People from California want to come here, you know,
right.
And I think why not?
And that's been a trend. Water polo is really considered more of a California sport. Maybe some
Yeah.
It's played a little bit in Hawaii also, but it's not really a sport that's played a lot in Michigan. Although you guys do have a lot of Michigan players, right?
Yeah, actually, this is true. It started basically in California, and that is where water polo is based out of, basically California. But our coach in the past 5 years, Scott Russell, brought Ann Arbor, started playing. And if you have one person, just bring it to a town, and it grows, sort of. My high school team didn't have a water polo team, and we started one, and now it's been there for 8 years, and it's doing great. So it's a new sport, definitely, but it's coming from California.
All right, Christy, we have to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have lots more with the captain of the water polo team right here on Wolverine Spotlight.
Are we done?
Welcome back to Wolverine Spotlight. We're sitting down with the captain of the water polo team, Christy Lilly. And Christy, in our first segment, we were talking about some of the things that people might see when they come out and watch your team. And you said a lot of hard action, women in bathing suits, some little caps on. But there's really a lot more to that. Talk about some of the action and give our viewers some of what's involved in water polo. Because you said a lot of people may not know what water polo is played. Jokingly, you said it's about horses. We're the horses. So tell us, what is water polo?
Water polo it's similar to soccer and basketball, I would say. It's 6 players and 1 goalie, and the 6 players on offense go down and try and score a goal. You can't touch the bottom. Actually, even if you want to touch the bottom, you couldn't because it's 10 feet deep. But so you swim back and forth. You can use one hand, throw the ball around. You can swim with the ball right in front of your face, sort of like this. And it's sort of that's called dribbling. It's like basketball. There are picks, things like that. Basically, to get a screen, to get yourself open, take a shot. Hopefully, it'll go in.
So you guys have a lot of hard action, and you said in the first segment your expectation for this year, in 2 years, a national championship or getting to the national.
Well, we're going to be one of I said the top 4 teams, and I'm sticking to that. That's actually our goal for this year, is one of the top 4 teams. So
how are you guys going to be able to accomplish that? It's only your first year. What are some of the things that you look to be able to accomplish that goal?
Well, in the past couple of years, we haven't even been that far from that goal. We've definitely been one of the top 15 teams in the nation. And with a good freshman recruiting class and new coaches that bring out all of our specific skills, I really think that that's something that we can accomplish. We're all a lot stronger than we were last year. I know we all lift now. We work harder because you don't have to do other things. You can really focus on water polo, which is important, I know, to our team at least. And that's a goal we had from the beginning, was being one of the top 4 teams. So. And
you said your coaches are bringing you guys together as far as team chemistry. That's been a big goal of for you guys. How is the team chemistry really? As the coaches, they've been doing a great job?
Yeah, the coaches really have been doing a good job. We're going bowling tonight, right after this. It's just really fun. They're good girls that came out, you know, and we have fun together. And our coaches really promote that. They give us time off. They go, you know, get ice cream or do whatever. They're really good. And during team meetings, we'll do exercises, get to know each other, things like that.
Now, what's your role as far as leading this team? You are the captain of the team. How does being the captain change your role to some of the other players? And do some of the other players look up to you any differently, or what's your role on this team?
I don't really think that anyone would look up to me differently because I'm quote-unquote captain, but I try and just lead by example, do things that I would want the girls to do. And it's the same for on campus. When we're walking around, now that we are varsity, you represent water polo. You want to represent them in a good way. It's the first year, so we want to do things the right way, and that's how I like to look at it.
Are you also a very vocal captain out there? I
think I'm in the middle. We definitely have very vocal people on our team, and we have people that don't say much, but I definitely think that during game time I'm vocal, during cheering I'm vocal, but I'm not the most vocal person on our team.
Now let me ask you about your position on this team as far as actually in-game situations. Your position is it's called the driver. So what does that mean, and how does that fit for your team and what the things that you guys do out in the water?
The driver is basically the one who makes the play. They set the pick, they come off the pick, they set the screen, that type of thing. There are also people that take the outside shots, things like that. So the goals are going to come, and the swimming is going to come from the driver. So I like to swim, so I'm a driver. That's basically how it works out.
Right. So, and as far as what your role on the team is, are you also organizing a lot of stuff for them? Like as far as organizing the way your team sets up in the pool, or?
We have different people that organize things. Or we have plays a lot that we set. So because I'm a local person and an older player, I like to organize things just in that way. But we don't really have anyone that is a set, you know, person that would organize a play or anything.
The strengths of this team, where do they lie?
Our strengths lie in our conditioning. We're in really good shape right now, I think. We have good players that have played for a long time and that just want to come out and play and show them what we have. Past couple of years, we all never really got to show what we had. I really believe that. So this is the year, I think, for us to come out.
So if you guys have the strength of conditioning, and where's the gap as far as your weaknesses? Where are the areas of improvement you guys still need to make?
I think our offense still needs a lot of improvement. We're fast and we're strong, so we can keep goals out, but sometimes it's hard to remember to get the offense going. We have a lot of defensive players. I'm a defensive player myself. It's hard for me to remember to take those shots and drive and just play hard on offense. So our team just needs to focus on that, I think.
All right. Now, for somebody sitting back now watching and is thinking to themselves, oh, I want this game sounds sort of cool. I've never really played water polo, but I've done a lot of swimming, and you said you love to swim, and that's so much of the game. It really is. What would you say is how much of water polo is actually swimming ability, and how much of it is actually knowing the game of water polo?
This is sort of a tricky question. I think it varies from person to person. You can take water polo, you can put into it whatever you have. So I like to swim, so I make it probably 50-50 swimming, water polo. Other people that don't like to swim so much make it more like 60-40 water polo versus swimming. So it sort of depends on your skill set and what you can put into it. And each player is better at one thing, and that's what makes a team sort of work together.
And you certainly have to be able to swim. That's a basic level, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to be able to swim. People always ask, is it hard? And it's not hard if you know how to swim, but if you don't know how to swim, it's about the hardest thing you could ever do, I think.
So it's a fun sport. It gives a little aspect of swimming. Let's talk a little bit more specifically about this season. You guys had the Michigan State Invitational. That was sort of like a warm-up, an exhibition game. Some of the club teams, and you guys came out all right, 2-0. So in the first two games, how do you think you guys fared in those first two exhibition games?
I think we played really well in those first two games. It was good to get out and play some games against some club teams before we play any of our hard competitors. Those teams play very well, they're club teams, so I'm not going to, we were a club team, I thought they did really well. But I think that it was good for us to get out, play together as a team before we go and play our biggest competitors in the next couple of weeks.
And some of the things that some of your big competitors that are in the upcoming weeks, you guys have some big tournaments over spring break. You're going to be over in California, and that's going to be a tough road trip for you guys. The Long Beach State, San Diego State, California, San Diego. Those are some big tournaments for you.
Yeah, we're definitely playing some big teams out there. We're playing UC Santa Barbara. I know USC and Stanford will be at those tournaments. Just big, good schools, top schools will be at that tournament. But that'll be a perfect opportunity for us to learn how those people play and gain some skills, do what other teams do, learn from them.
So going into this into the spring break trip, a bunch of tournaments, how are you going to measure success for your team? Only wins, or will you accept a loss?
This is something that my coach said, and I think it's so great. We don't care, if we play well, then that's what it counts. We're going to play some games. Amber said that. She said, we're going to play some games, play good, and we're going to lose. We're going to play some games crappy, and we're still going to win. So we just want to play well and learn, and that's really what I consider a success.
And do you feel a lot of pressure to succeed now that you've been given the varsity status and you're coming in? You think you guys have the team to compete? Do you feel now a lot of pressure to succeed?
The pressure sort of is just coming up because we haven't had the games yet. We only had the exhibition game, but the pressure's there. But I really think that our team is going to come together and put the pressure aside and work as a team to succeed.
Now, before you get to that spring break trip, you have some other tournaments coming up. Tell me a little about the emotions you think you're going to feel coming into this is really your first varsity game. You've fought to get this team across into the varsity status. Do you think you're going to feel any extra added emotions or any different feelings than just a regular game?
I can tell you now, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be really proud when we walk in to that tournament and have everything that every other team has. Last year, when we went to nationals, every team there was varsity, and we walked in with, measly bags and things like that. So I know when we walk in, we have, our sponsored things, and we have our trainers and everything that everyone else has always had. It's going to make me feel really proud that we got to that point.
Sure. And you think that's the same way that your teammates feel and some of your coaches?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my teammates feel the same way. We're just really excited for it, and we want to show them that what we've been doing the past year has paid off.
Do you think that the freshmen now in your program, do you think they appreciate some of the things that you guys have done to make this team a varsity sport?
I think that we try and make them appreciate it. I don't know if they do or not, but we always are constantly saying, we have to remember this is so great that we have this, and try and put that in their mind so they don't forget, because in 4 years they'll be the seniors and there'll be no one left from the club team, and we really want them to remember where we came from and things like that, our coaches from the past years.
Right. All right, Christy, we have to take another break. When we come back, we'll have lots more with the captain of the water polo team right here on Wolverine Spotlight. Welcome back to Wolverine Spotlight. We're sitting down with Christy Lilly, captain of the water polo team. And Christy, we've talked a lot about some of the success you've had in the past and some of the things that you guys expect to do in the future. This season, narrow down for us 3 goals for you, for your team.
Okay, 3 goals for our team. Number 1, we just want to make it to the NCAA championships. We want to be one of the top 4 teams in the country the first year of our varsity sport. I think that's really important. Another one of our team goals is just to never lose sight of how much we love water polo. It's something that I always like to bring to water polo. I love it, and I never want to forget that it's a sport and not something that you have to do. It really is something that we love to do. And for a 3rd goal, I would just say live it up for the first year of varsity sport, you know?
You think that happens a lot, that people forget how much they love water polo? They get a little bit too involved in it, maybe?
I think with any sport, people get so involved, especially when it's a varsity status, and it almost is like a job for people that are on scholarship, things like that. You forget how much you love the sport, and that's something that, being my last year, I really want to cherish playing a sport in college in the last year. Whether you're a club team, varsity team, whatever you are, you know.
You're playing collegiate sports.
Yeah.
The toughest part of being a water polo player is, finish that sentence for me.
Working on the leg set, I would think. We do a ton of leg exercises. It's just all about shedding water. I don't know if anyone knows egg beatering, things like that. It's just really tough on your legs, just working out like that.
And what would try to peek into your mind of your coach, and what would your coach? How do you think your coach would answer? A great water polo player is what? How would your coach finish that sentence?
My coach, the head coach.
Sure.
Amber, I think she would probably say someone who's like attentive. I think she really likes people that listen to her. She said this. She said, if you do what I tell you to after I tell you to do it, I'll be the happiest person alive, you know? I think that's something that she likes, is when we pay attention. I think any coach does, really.
And what would you say a great water polo is? The same thing or any different?
I think a great water polo player is someone who doesn't necessarily score the goals, but who helps out a lot and does things to make the goals, things like that. In any sport, I think the people that always are the big players aren't always the Rudies of the team, if you will.
Right. Now, we mentioned in one of our other segments how tough it is to get people to play water polo sort of in the Midwest and on the East. And it's not really that common being played. It's more California and Hawaii. And you guys try to change that. You guys made an active effort to try to bring water polo to Michigan and to some of the Michigan high schools here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're all trying to bring water polo to Michigan. We go back to all of our respective high schools, whether they be Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Detroit, whatever it is, and run clinics for the girls, sort of teaching them how to play. If they don't know how to play, teaching them how to update their skills. So then when they become seniors and are looking where to go to college, maybe Michigan will appeal to them. And then we can have some players from the state of Michigan. And this area, the Michigan-Chicago area, really has come up as a nice water polo area. There's Chicago, and then there's the East, and then there's Michigan-Chicago. So. And
do you feel an excitement from the high school players?
Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, they're so excited about the varsity, about playing water polo. It's a new sport to them, and they all had swam, but no one had ever played water polo. So it's really a fun thing to bring to them.
All right. Now give us a little bit of insight about, besides you and water polo, what are some of the other things you like to do?
Well, currently I'm interviewing for jobs, things like that. I'm a senior, so, you know, I'm really busy with stuff like that. But I don't know. I'd like to do basic things, go out with my friends, things like that.
And you have a job for next year already?
Yeah, I do. I have a job with, it's formerly Anderson Consulting, Accenture.
And you're going to be doing what with
Oh, doing management consulting. I'm an organizational studies major, so doing org change, things like that, doing companies.
Okay. And as far as some of the said you like to hang out with your friends, just common stuff?
Just common stuff, yeah.
Christy Lilly is no different than any other student here?
No, I wouldn't say I'm any different. Anyone who plays a varsity sport knows you just want the time off to do something fun.
Some things that you look forward to in this season, maybe that you haven't experienced being a club player, what would you say they are?
Well, actually, something that I'm looking forward to is, like I said, making it to the Final Four. We couldn't go if we were a club team this year. It's an NCAA-regulated thing, so something that I'm looking forward to is that. Being there, being on TV, things like that, you know?
You like that exposure, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, and we thank you for coming here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hopefully it's been a good experience it's been a great experience for all of us learning about what it means to be a water polo player. And give us an update as far as the first tournament for you guys at Michigan where everybody can see you is when?
February 17th. Come on out. I'm sure we'll have flyers come out and you can see some girls in bathing suits, you know. We duke it out hard. It's a fun game. You should come and watch.
And that's the way you guys are promoting it, right? Girls in bathing suits?
No, but I would think it's just a fun game to come and watch, just like any other game, hockey, where there's fighting. I think it's just a fun game where there's goals scored.
All right, well, thanks for giving us all that
Thank
insight.
you for having me.
It's great to meet you, and thanks for coming on Wolverine Spotlight. The Michigan Invitational is February 17th and 18th. That's where you see Christy and all her teammates in action at the natatorium, right? So thanks for joining us. And for my producer, Bess Barrows, and all of us here at WOLV TV, I'm Donnie Steinberger. Have a good night.
Good. Thank you.